Well, hello, friends. This is Prolife Leader Frank Pavone speaking to you from New York and updating you on my daily diary. In this segment, I want to talk to you about what I did from Thursday, October 30th through Saturday, November 1st of 2025. Well, this was a trip to Missouri. So on Thursday the 30th, I was like in the wee hours of the morning, picked up by an Uber at my office to go to the Orlando airport, at which I caught a plane to Atlanta, and then in Atlanta, a connecting flight to Springfield, Missouri. Now, what I usually do in the car, at the terminal, on the plane, is do some email work on my laptop. And among the topics I was working on during those flights and that airport time were upcoming trip plans, correspondence, helping the staff to know how to answer certain pieces of correspondence, the Priest for Life Travelogue, one of our monthly newsletters, that is. Some work on one of the boards that I belong to, one of the pro-life boards with pro-life leader Jacob Barr. Communication with my staff about translations, about Microsoft Teams, preparation for scripture reflections, communication with a gentleman who is helping in fundraising, communication with our staff about our phone and fax lines, which ones we need to keep, which ones we can get rid of, and then a strategy with a Florida-based pro-life leader, a strategic discussion, that is, about the direction of Florida. So I got to Missouri, settled into my hotel, and then continued with desk work, items like I just mentioned, and also communication with my office staff and planning. There was a lot of things I was able to push through with a couple of quiet hours of hotel work before I had to get on a shuttle, and that's when I started interacting with the other participants in this conference, which was for the National Association of Christian Lawmakers, a group that's about 5 years old. I've been an advisor for it from the beginning. I know the gentleman who started it, and we have done some very fruitful work together. So I started interacting with all the leaders, the legislators, the other speakers. We got onto a bus, and we were transported over to a special location for a very nice evening gala welcome reception, and it was a really beautiful place, beautiful event, a lot of great people that I interacted with, and then we were taken back to the hotel for a good night's sleep. The next morning, Friday the 31st, we were transported to another location, which was the College of the Ozarks. Really impressive school, and that was a day full of presentations and networking. So I would network with the legislators. We had meals together, connected with a lot of them that I knew, a lot of them that knew me that I had not yet met, and we talked about pro-life strategy that we could implement in the various states. And then I gave a presentation in the afternoon on one of the panels, the Committee on Life, of course. And so I updated the legislators on pro-life strategy and counteracting the abortion movement. They were my presentation was received very favorably, and then I spoke with a number of legislators afterwards. And then in the evening, we had a gala dinner event, very nice. We honored some people and heard some speakers, and that closed out the evening with a little bit more networking. I had a couple of moments to get over to my email and was talking about a new podcast called Truth Uncensored that I'm doing with an evangelical bishop, our Priest for Life Travelogue, approval of appeals, some response to some ridiculous statements about Islam from the U.S. bishops. It's a violent religion, and we have to begin realizing that. And then some work on our pro-life vote C4 organization. That finished off Friday the 31st and the month of October. The next morning, Saturday, November 1st, we continued with the conference of legislators. I attended some of the morning presentations, as well as did a lot of networking with not only the legislators, but the other invited speakers. And then we had a plenary session of the entire National Association of Christian Lawmakers, and we had some final inspiring talks and exhortations to close out the plenary session. And then a couple of the legislators and I rode together back to the airport and our flights were a little bit delayed, so we had some lunch together, and then I set up my laptop and I was doing some email work in the airport, things like approving an insert to go in a mailing for upper donors, getting more scripture themes ready for coming days, and working on a special email about our social media outreach. And finally, I got on my plane, a little bit delayed. I had to end up going to Jacksonville instead of Orlando, and then get a ride back to Orlando. So I didn't get back until the wee hours of the morning after that day of November 1st. And that's what I did during those 3 days. I hope your activity for the kingdom and for the unborn continues to be fruitful. And thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.